Hello there, football fans. James Hutchinson here on Borofantv. Here to preview and review games from Group E. That's Brazil's group, Switzerland, Serbia and Costa Rica. The next games take place this Friday, so we'll have a look forward to them as well as having a look back from the opening games. The opening game saw Brazil draw somewhat surprisingly with Switzerland 1-1. They had an excellent start to the game. Philippe Coutinho scored one of his worldies, which he's famous for. But from there on in, they somewhat lost the way, the Samba Stars. Pretty much illustrated by Neymar, the big standout player for him. He sort of disappeared and he became a bit of a frustrated figure by the end of the game. Maybe he's been rushed back a little bit quickly because he has had his injury problems, but the team didn't seem to stand out once he went a little bit quiet. And after that first half hour, there was a few worrying signs there for Brazil. It might be time to call up some reinforcements. Roberto Firmino, he might get a game this Friday against Costa Rica. It might be that they don't need to be so reliant on Neymar, so giving people like Firmino the chance to come in, work alongside Jesus, that might stand the team in better stead during the tournament. Talking about their opponents, Costa Rica on Friday, I think they illustrated in their first game against Serbia why they're not going to qualify out of this group. Plenty of effort, but not very much going forward for Costa Rica. I think they've threatened very little, and to be truthful, the second oldest squad in the tournament looked well past the best, and 3 shots on target in a whole game isn't going to get them very far in this tournament. So, to summarise for Brazil against Costa Rica, with or without Neymar, I can only really see one outcome in this game. I think the Samba Stars will show up a little bit better this game, and I think they'll come out with a 3-0 victory, which will put them on 4 points and looking good for a place in the second round. Don't forget, subscribe to our channel, okay? Facebook, YouTube, and we'll have more reviews from Group E and Group G from myself. Next game we're going to look at is Serbia against Switzerland in Group E. This fixture will probably decide which team from Group E goes through along with Brazil. So I'm expecting quite a hard-fought game in Kaliningrad on Friday. The Swiss have continued their magnificent form of late. I think it's 1 defeat now in 23 competitive games. And led by ex-West Ham man Valon Barami, they look pretty impressive. And to be honest, they deserved a 1-1 draw against Brazil in their opening game. Didn't look under any pressure. And they contained Brazil quite well, especially in the second half. Earlier in the day, Alexander Kolarov's goal gave Serbia 3 points against Costa Rica, which was no little more than they deserved. To be honest, Costa Rica offered little threat, and Serbia showed in flashes why 1 or 2 people are tipping them to be a bit of a dark horse in this tournament. They've got good players going forward. Obviously Mitrovic we know all about, and obviously Tadic, Milinkovic-Savic again, he showed up well. Just need to put a bit of a finish towards some of the good moves that they had in that game, but Serbia looked quite a threat. But it could be argued in this game, obviously Serbia have got a 2-point advantage over Switzerland, that the Serbs need the victory in this match because their final game is against Brazil in the group. And if it's a draw, they may be relying on them picking up something against Brazil in the last match, which isn't a guaranteed. So I think Serbia will be going all out for a win in this game against the Swiss. And obviously, with the Swiss being the 6th best ranked side in the world according to FIFA, that's not an easy thing to expect. To be honest, I think this game will end up being quite a hard-fought game and a draw. I've tipped on the cards here. I think it's going to be 1-1 between Switzerland and Serbia, which will probably suit the Swiss more. So again, let's see if we're right on this one. We'll review these games after the weekend. But for me, James Hutchinson and Rob on camera. Rob, give us a prediction of that game. Switzerland, Serbia, what do you reckon?
I think Switzerland 2-1 there.
Switzerland 2-1. That'll put them in the box seat if that's the final score there. So yeah, that's Group E done with. Group G, let's have a look now. Group G, we'll start off with Belgium against Tunisia. Belgium, the Red Devils, golden generation. Started off against Panama earlier in the week on Monday with a 3-0 win. It did take them a little bit of time to click into gear, but once Dries Mertens got his wonder strike to put him in the lead, they never looked back from there. Romelu Lukaku, like Harry Kane, got 2 goals. So again, they're starting to look as though they could be a threat in this tournament. And I think they'll be equally confident of seeing off a Tunisia team who I think showed that they've got a little bit of durability about them, but again, not much going forward. And I think really that shouldn't disguise from the fact that Belgium should have more than enough quality to see the Tunisians off. on on Sunday. This game, I think VAR will be kept quite busy, as will the officials, judging by Tunisia's performance in the penalty area in their game against England. And it wouldn't surprise me if the Belgians get a penalty in this match. Overall, summing up, I think Belgium will walk away with a win in this game because, yes, they've got bigger challenges ahead. They may rest 1 or 2 players for this game with Tunisia, but I still see him getting 3 points. Maybe only by 1 goal. It might be a 1-0 victory, which will be enough to put Belgium through and knock Tunisia out. Hope you've enjoyed this preview about the Belgium-Tunisia game from Monsieur Rob. Monsieur, give us a prediction, Rob.
2-0 Belgium.
2-0 Belgium, OK. So that's that game taken care of. Left the final one, best one to last, England. Obviously, England's big game, Panama. Where do we start with that one? Obviously, they put us all through it on Sunday. Sorry, start again. On Monday, England losing track of the days here. And they got 3 precious points in their opening game. Arguably, you could say, with England's performance against Tunisia the other night, that was their best tournament performance since Wayne Rooney inspired England to beat Croatia 4-2 in Euro 2004. So you're going back potentially 14 years for England's best performance in an actual tournament, which for 35 minutes, it really was a great performance. Forget about the fact that it's Tunisia that you're up against. You've seen other big nations so far in the World Cup, like Germany, like France, Argentina, Brazil, struggle against teams that would be expected to beat. For 35 minutes, England played some great football, great movement off the ball, quick passing, lots of options going forward. And I think if it was any other country, a lot of people would be raving about that performance. England really did play that well for 35 minutes. Harry Kane, 2 priceless strikes. Again, he underlines his importance to that team and the squad as a whole. He's a big player, probably our best player. And probably our most important player. 2 crucial goals which got us the 3 points. I don't think it should be underestimated as well about the performance of the likes of Jordan Henderson. He instigated a lot of our attacking threat, keeps the ball moving quickly. He's got a big part to play in how far England go in this tournament. And I was also really impressed by Kieran Trippier. He had a really good game, especially in the first half. He was a good outlet for us going forward. And bearing in mind, again, he's had very little experience for England. He didn't seem unnerved by the occasion, unlike 1 or 2 other players in the team. And I was really impressed with his performance. If you were to be critical a little bit of England on Monday night, it would be about the chances that they didn't take. They created an absolute boatload in the first half, and that's got to be turned into goals in other games, especially games where you're going to be up against better opposition. We probably won't make as many chances as that, but the chances you do make, you're going to have to put away if you want to progress in the tournament. Talking about people missing chances and not maybe delivering, I'm loath to have a go at players, but obviously Raheem Sterling is a concern. It's now 2 goals in 39 appearances, and I know it's not always about the goals, it's about what else he brings to the team, but he just seemed a shadow of the man that plays for Man City. There was 1 or 2 times he got the ball in space on Monday night, and it seemed as though he was like struck with fear, didn't know what to do next. So obviously, will Gareth Southgate stick with him on Sunday for the game against Panama? That decision might be taken out of his hands because obviously Dele Alli may have picked up an injury and he may miss the game. I don't see Southgate making too many changes on Sunday, so I think if Ali's out, I think obviously Loftus-Cheek may come in for him, I think Sterling will get another opportunity. It's one he's got to take if he wants to stay in the squad and play a further part in the tournament, because I don't think, bearing in mind the impact Rashford had when he came on, that Gareth Southgate can give Raheem Sterling too many more opportunities at the moment. As I said, it was a richly deserved win, which we should all enjoy. Wins at World Cups are fantastic. Scotland have only ever won 4 games in their entire history in the World Cup. We won 1 this week, so there you go. You've got to enjoy these things. Before leaving Monday night's game, I've got to talk about the officials. Again, it's something I don't like to talk about because it's a tough job they've got. If they didn't do it, we wouldn't have a game. But those officials on Monday night were absolutely atrocious. The referee from Colombia and the whole team of officials, I didn't have a great deal of confidence whenever they were going to make a decision that they were going to get to the right one. It didn't seem as though they were taking any sort of hint about what was happening at corners. Whether VAR was involved with things, I don't know. But again, I was really disappointed in their performance and it was a worry.
On that note,
yeah,
apparently the officials have come out and said them 2 corners.
Yeah, which looked like certain penalties.
They did review them.
Right.
And they decided that there weren't penalties because on the first occasion they said John Stones was impeaching a player. But if that was true, he'd have given the free kick.
Yeah.
And the second one, he said Harry Kane had as much of him as they did Kane. I don't...
Sounds like a perfect FIFA cover-up, doesn't it? You know, I mean, yeah, people sometimes say we have a bit of a chip on our shoulder being England fans, and we're always going on about being victims of this, and we've always been cheated out of this, cheated out of that. Those decisions were awful the other night, Rob. You know,
they just stood out like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of the reason why Sepp Blatter's come out the day after and said, I think it should go back to England, the World Cup in 2030.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, just try and keep us on side. It's a bit late now, Sepp. You owe us more than just one World Cup, mate. So anyway, Sunday, Panama. I think we've got to expect a bit of a physical approach from our opponents. They had 5 bookings in their game against Belgium on Monday. So I don't think you're going to get any less than that. I think they are going to put it about a bit on Monday. So we've got to be a team that's capable of standing up to that. But I think we can. And we've also displayed that we can play a bit of football when needs to. So with that in mind, I'm going to go 2-0 England on Sunday. How about yourself, Rob?
See, I've watched a lot of these games now, mate.
Yeah.
So I'm going to cheat for this prediction. We'll win 1-0 or 3-0.
1-0 or 3-0, go on either side of it.
Yeah, it's very hard to predict these games.
Yeah, and that's it. There's not been many hammerings cast out in this tournament. So I think you had the Russia game against Saudi Arabia, and Belgium beating Panama 3-0. But 3-0's not really a hammering, and I don't think we will hammer them at the weekend. But the thing is, if we get the 3 points, it's job done. We're through. We're in the last 16, and that's all that matters. And build up and get a bit more momentum behind us and go on to bigger and better things. Thanks for watching. Borough fans, England fans, football fans, enjoy doing these previews, reviews. Hopefully got some more going on as the tournament goes. Keep your eyes peeled to Borofantv for all other things that are going on during the World Cup. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our Facebook and YouTube channels. From myself, Squarehead, and Robinho on the camera. Till next time, enjoy the World Cup, enjoy the football, take care.